Hi Virgo, this is Tarot-blee Accurate. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new, thanks for showing up and finding me. I'm glad you did, and I hope you're glad you did, and then you like the videos and you subscribe to those. Those of you who have already done that, thanks so much for coming back. You're the reason why I do these. Now, one quick thing I wanted to mention because someone had a question about it is they said, how do you get it so that when you're watching your YouTube videos and then YouTube automatically suggests the next one, that they just roll through the playlist of what's current for this month. If you initially watch the videos through the playlist on my YouTube channel page, then you'll be able to see, let's say you're watching the Love One now. Your general reading might roll right after that. Does that make sense? So you'll be able to see everything automatically that way. If you don't care, you don't care. It's fine. Whatever. So this is your reading for love for July 8th through August 8th, and we're doing singles and couples. Now, before I get started with that, this guy just jumped right out of the deck, and it's the Ten of Wands. So it's saying, you know, in this deck specifically is a little bit different, but it's saying sometimes you have to work hard at things, and it seems like more than you can bear. But you got this. You can do it. It's challenging, but you can do it. But, you know, it's also divinely guided here. Like, the way doing this hard work is what gets you what you wish for, what you hope for, what you've prayed for, okay? So it does seem very defeating at times, and sometimes it seems really more than you can do. Like, this load is more than he can carry, it looks like, almost. But he can get there. Like, the finish line could be here, it could be over here, but he can cross it. He really can. He's come a long way already, okay? So that's important for somebody. Now, anyway, in regards to Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and you're single, what do we have? The Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, so with this card here, it's like you might have to wait a little bit longer for your love ship to come in. I'm sorry. You might be waiting for the right person to just show up in your life, or, you know, to get an idea or a message about love. And it's like right now, you just have to wait a little bit. So why is that? Whoops, I'm supposed to take that one out. But let's just say, though, that, okay, when cards like this, I usually pull those out. There's two in my deck. I pulled one of them out. It's usually a stop card. Like, stop and ask a different question. But we already rolled with it and pulled another card. So we're just going to go here. And it's saying, because your luck is just not at its peak right now. But know that it will change. But for right now, it's just not at its maximum peak. Now, that might correlate somehow to what's going on with astrology, with the moon and the sun and your horoscope. But I don't know how to do all that stuff, so I can't tell you for certain. But the reason why I think it's also saying, hey, stop here, is because the reason is going to be different for everybody. Now, intuitively, before I pulled that card, I was feeling like, you know, sometimes you might be ready to welcome your partner, you know, forever, your forever person, into your life. Sometimes you think you're ready, and you're actually not. There's more lessons you have to go through. But sometimes it's like, you know what? I've done all this work, and I'm waiting, and it seems like they're never coming. But that's because that person that's out there created for you somewhere in the world, they're not ready yet. They're still learning their lessons. They're still going through what they need to go through and learn so they can be the right person for you, that they're not your right person yet. Okay? So sometimes it's not about you. You know, people often, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting, you know, why am I not meeting the right person for me, and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes it's somebody else's ish. Sometimes it's like, why don't you just pray for your other person to get over their stuff, to learn their lessons at a quicker pace so they can come and be in your life? You know, that's maybe a better way to handle it, instead of to be in the negative. Why not? Why not? What am I doing wrong? When quite possibly you're doing nothing wrong. So anyway, the Fool jumped out, and it's saying, you know, anything can happen. You have to have faith. And this is exactly what I was just talking about right now, where it's like, have faith, like even childlike blind faith, that God has a plan for you, you know, that everything's going to work out in the time that it's going to work out. Like, it's an adventure. Life's an adventure. You know, you have to take risks. You have to be open to seeing just how things go. But Yeah. So kind of a bummer. What could you focus on then this month, though, to take your mind off of it? The Queen of Wands in reverse. So basically, it's more of a warning than a focus. It's saying, don't go out and be that wild, crazy party girl, okay? It's basically saying, don't focus so much on, how do I describe this? Like going out and meeting new people. Because I really feel like it's just like your other person isn't ready yet. Now, maybe you also have work to do. I'm not going to lie there and say, oh, you're ready. Because some of you probably aren't. But I feel like the reason why you're not meeting them this month is more because of them. Okay? Now, what do we have going on for Virgos who are coupled? Coupled Virgos. And that could be your sun, moon, or rising sign. And July 8th through August 8th. The Queen of Swords in reverse. So first of all, is saying don't be a bitch. Okay? Don't be a bitch to your partner. And then you have the Star in reverse. So the reason why you might be tempted to be one, to be like, look, yo, you're ticking me off. Like, I am just going to be off with your head all day long, is because you didn't get what you wanted. You know, things are not what you had hoped they would be within your relationship. And it's not necessarily like within the larger scale of your relationship. It's just like there's something that you really, really wanted and you didn't get it. Or maybe you didn't get it the way that you wanted it. And so you're tempted to kind of be a bee. Now we had a challenge card fall on the floor here. And it's the Eight of Swords. You have a lot of dark colors here, okay? But these dark colors are all blues. So it's all about communication. So you are really, really going to need to have honest and clear communication with your partner this month. Even if you're kind of moody and you don't want to talk about it and you're tempted to be a bee, you don't want to, okay? Now, you're going to have to very much combine your logical thought with your emotions. But you have to be more clear-headed and logical in the way that you communicate than emotional, okay? Because when you get emotional, that's why you start acting like a snot. Now, and you know what? Let me say this. Your feelings are valid, okay? But there's just a better way to handle it for a better outcome, okay? So are you right to be, like, upset? Yeah, because you didn't get what you wanted, okay? But are you right for going attack dog mode and like really letting them have it and let them know that you're upset? They already know. They already know, so you don't have to keep bringing it up. You don't have to make them feel bad. You don't have to call them names. If you're a name caller, knock it off this month, for sure. You should probably knock it off forever, but especially this month. Okay, anyway. So this is your challenge. Your challenge to see that you don't have to stay in a relationship that you don't like, okay? It's very similar to the Devil card, the way that this one is represented, where it's kind of like, you know you can leave, but there's something fun about it, so you don't. Like, you know, maybe something's bad for you. I don't think this relationship is bad for you, but it's like, you're almost to this point because you didn't get what you wanted, where you're giving ultimatums. Like, well, I really needed this. I really wanted this. If I don't get this, I'm going to go. That kind of a thing, okay? Now, your challenge to really think about whether or not those are wise, right? Because you don't actually really want to leave. You just actually want what you wanted. But, you know, this person, I mean, she's surrounded by communication that is honest. Like, I think your partner is being pretty honest with you, and when they tell you this is why you didn't get what you wanted, you might not understand their viewpoint, but at least they took the time to communicate with you about it and didn't lie and tell you, like, yeah, I'm going to give you what you want. And then you find out later and get heartbroken about it. So be thankful for that, right? Now, if it is that big of a deal breaker, you don't give them an ultimatum, you just decide to go, okay? That's the better way to do it. You don't say more second chances, that kind of thing. If you really want to leave, you can. Just leave then. But don't manipulate the situation. Don't manipulate your partner, because that's not going to end well. It's just going to be a nonstop circle, and it's going to be unhealthy and toxic, and you're going to become this person, and they're going to resent you, and you're going to resent them. Okay, so there's a lot of guidance here for you with that. What else for Virgo couples? The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So somehow your relationship might be distracting you from your hobbies, from your work, things like that right now at this time. But even still, like as it does that, your communication just isn't happening the right way. And I feel like some of you are just not like you're shutting down. You're throwing a tantrum, but not in like the dramatic, like epic proportions that a Scorpio or a Leo might, where they just stomp their feet and blah. It's more like you shut down, you know, like you go silent, like you go cold. But even still, like in all that silence, somehow the relationship is distracting you from getting the stuff done that you had to get done. So what is your advice generally in this time? Is saying, you know what? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. So you're not wrong for going silent, but you don't want to go that silent. And then it's just saying, you know, this month, money can be very abundant for you. You could have a lot of, you could have like a big increase. Things could be very stable, like a lot of, like a raise, something like that. But you got to focus on your work then. In regards to your love life though, like, how do we fix this situation? Because like I said, you're not wrong for feeling sad, but the Eight of Wands. Okay, so this is a reassurance card. What it's telling you is that when things change, though, they're going to change overnight. They're going to change fast, okay? So it doesn't mean that overnight, like from the time that you're watching this, like, hey, tomorrow you're going to get what you want. It's not saying that, but it's saying when you eventually do get what you want, okay? When you eventually get there, when your hopes and dreams are realized, it will be fast, okay? It's not like slowly working towards it. It'll be boom, done, have it, nailed it, okay? So keep that in mind, and then make sure that your behaviors in the meantime, even though you're sad, and it's okay to feel that way, are not aggressive and cold. Because then when you get to have what you want, then you still want it. Does that make sense? Okay. Good luck, Virgos. Love you. Mwah!